The Columbia Network takes pleasure in presenting Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the air in the second of a unique new summer series of 9 dramatic productions. The first time in its history that radio has brought to the country an entire theatrical institution. Columbia is proud to welcome Orson Welles to its roster of stars and to give him the opportunity of bringing to the air those same qualities of vitality and the Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. I take up my pen in the year of grace 1783 and go back to the time 19 years ago when my father kept the Admiral Benbow Inn, and the brown old seaman with the saber cut first took up his lodging under the roof. I was 14, but I remember him as if it were yesterday.
Drinking the devil have done for the rest. Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum.
He came plodding to the inn door, his sea chest following him from behind, and on a hand barrow, a tall, strong, heavy, nut-browned man with tarry pigtail falling over the shoulders of his soiled blue coat, his hands ragged and scarred, with black broken nails and the saber cut across the cheek, a dirty, livid white, singing that old sea song that he sang so often afterwards.
Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. Yo, open up in there. Now then, boy.
Yes, sir?
What do you call this place?
The Admiral Benbow Inn, sir.
Admiral Benbow, eh? Nice, lonely-looking, pleasant-situated grog shop. Folks don't come here much, do they, boy? Not much company?
No, sir. More's the pity.
No? Well, then, it's the berth for me. I'm a plain man. Rum and bacon, eggs, all I want. And that head up there to watch for ships off. Have a mind to stay here a bit. You here, matey. You with the wheelbarrow. Bring up alongside. Help up my chest. You too, boy. It's heavy.
Yes, sir.
Call me Captain, boy. Captain.
Yes, Captain.
Just one more thing.
Yes, Captain?
You ain't seen him, have you?
No, sir. Who do you mean?
Along the road, maybe? You might have seen him somewheres. You can't tell. Let me know if you do, boy. A seafaring man.
Yes, sir.
With one leg.
Yes, sir.
Captain.
Oh, yes, Captain.
Bring me a noggin of rum, boy.
And so he came to live under our roof. We never knew his name. We called him the Captain. He was a very silent man by custom, all day around the cove or up on the cliffs with a brass telescope, staring out to sea. All evening he sat in the corner of the parlor next to the fire and drank rum and water, very strong. And every day when he came back from his stroll, he would ask the same questions.
Jim?
Yes, Captain?
Any seafaring men go by today along the road?
No, Captain.
And Jim?
Yes, sir?
You're a good boy, Jim. You wouldn't lie to me ever, would you, Jim?
No, sir.
You haven't seen him, have you, Jim? Jim, there's a silver 4-penny for you on the first of every month if you're keeping your weather eye open for a seafaring man with one leg. Let me know the moment you see him, won't you, Jim? A seafaring man with one leg.
On stormy nights, when the wind shook the 4 corners of the house and the surf roared along the cove and up the cliffs, I could see him in 1,000 forms. Now the leg would be cut off at the knee, now at the hip. Now he was a monstrous kind of creature. He had never had but one leg, and that in the middle of his body.
You'll keep your weather and eye open, won't you, Jim? For a seafaring man with one leg. A seafaring man with one leg.
Months went by. The captain bade fair to ruin us, but he kept on, staying week after week, month after month.
And never a penny of money, Jim. Not a penny has he paid us since the day he came here, and me, a poor widow woman.
Mother, why don't you ask him for some?
Well, I'll tell you the truth, Jim. I'm afraid to ask him. I'm afraid of the man. Now, if your father was alive,
Room. There were nights when he took a deal of more rum and water than his head could carry.
15 men on a dead man's chest. Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum.
Often I have heard the house shaking and all the neighbors in for dear life.
Drink and the devil have done for the rest. Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum.
Quiet in midships.
Yo ho, a fire is right for me.
He would force them all to listen to his stories. Dreadful stories they were, about hanging, walking the plank, the storms at sea, and the dry Tortugas, and wild deeds and places on the Spanish Main. By his own account, he must have lived his life among some of the wickedest men that God had ever allowed upon the sea. The captain had been living with us almost a year when they occurred the first of the mysterious events that rid us at last of his presence. It was one January morning, very early, a pinching, frosty morning. The captain had risen early than usual and sat down on the beach with his telescope under his arm. My mother was upstairs, and I was laying the breakfast table against the captain's return when the parlor door opened and a stranger stepped in.
And beep, beep, beep.
Sonny, come here, Sonny. Is this table for my mate Bill?
I don't know your mate Bill. I'm laying this for a man who stays in the house. We call him the captain.
Well, my mate Bill would be called the captain, like as not now, we'll put it, for argument's like. That your captain's got a cut on one cheek, and we'll put it, if you like, that cheek's the right one, eh? But of course, save me. There he is now. There's my mate Bill. That's him with a spyglass under his arm, bless his old art, to be sure. You and me'll just get back behind the door, Sonny. We'll give Bill a little surprise, we will. Bless his art, I says again.
15 men on a dead man's chest. Yo ho ho.
Hello, Bill. Come on, Bill. You knows me. You knows an old shipmate, Bill, surely.
Black dog.
Black dog as ever was. Eh, Bill? Bill, we've seen a sight of times, us two.
So you run me down. Here I am. Well, speak up. What is it?
That's you, Bill. You're right of it, Billy. I'll have a glass of rum from this dear child here, what I've took such a liking to, and we'll sit down, if you please, and talk square, like old shipmates. Sit down, Bill. And you, Sonny, get aft.
Yes, sir.
And none of your keyholes on me, do you hear?
For a while, I could hear nothing but a low gabbing. Suddenly, the voices began to grow higher.
No, no, no. And an end of it. If it comes to swinging, swing all, say I.
I saw a black dog, streaming blood, run off down the road. Presently, the captain returned alone.
Jim, give me some rum.
Captain, are you hurt?
I must get away from here. Get away. That's what. I must get away from here.
Jim, what's happened? What's happened, Jim?
It's the captain, Mother.
The captain? Oh dear. Dearie me, what a disgrace. I've been afraid of something like this ever since he came into our house. With that old chest of his.
I got the rum and tried to put it down his throat, but his teeth were tightly shut and his jaws were as strong as iron. An hour later, our friend, Dr. Livesey, came.
Doctor, what shall we do?
Where is he wounded, Doctor?
Had a stroke.
Oh, where's Black Dog?
Black dog. There's no black dog except for what you have on your own back. You've been drinking rum, man, and you've had a stroke. Now listen to me. One glass of rum a day won't kill you. But if you take one, you'll take another, and then you'll die. Die and go into